Guys, I'm sick as fuck right now. Sick as fuck of not fishing. So, Washington State, they went ahead and they shut down all public fishing access a couple weeks ago. That included all state parks, all public fishing launches, public fishing docks, all the places that you would launch your boat, all the places you would need to buy a Discover Pass to go see. And they shut all that stuff down. So naturally, I thought that was going to be the end of it. And they weren't going to shut down fishing totally, just shutting down the docks where people stand shoulder to shoulder and don't really practice their public distancing. So a few days after that, they went ahead and shut down all recreational fishing, right? So naturally, I was kind of already having a rough day that day, and then I find out about that, and that kind of sent me over the edge. I'm not gonna lie, I was super pissed off. I didn't understand how that was going to help any sort of situation or stop the spread or anything like that, and so I was pretty pissed off to say the least. I immediately went home and tried to contact the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. Um, they were posting on social media and they were answering people's questions. People would ask questions like, "How long is this ban for?" And they would say minimum of till April 8th, and they would answer other questions. But when I asked them, "Is subsistence fishing considered recreational fishing?" Because obviously that's could be a loophole, and by terms of recreational fishing is considered fishing for fun, sport, or tournaments. So subsistence fishing in my mind is not recreational. Subsistence fishing is fishing to get food. Once I asked them that, they ghosted me. They wouldn't answer me. So then I called their office. I got a message tone, press 3 to do this or whatever. And when I tried to talk to a live human, it just reboots me back to the beginning of it, and I wasn't able to figure anything out. So me living in Spokane, Washington, about 20 minutes away from the border of Idaho, called Idaho and asked them if they're still taking out-of-state fishermen from Washington and allowing them to fish in Idaho, and they said, "You're more than welcome to come." So that's good. The only bad thing is an Idaho fishing license for a year is $100 or whatever, which is a lot more than Washington's if you live here. But they do have day passes for 15, which isn't too bad. So if you plan on only going 5 or 6 times, the day pass is fine. But if you plan on going more than 6 times, then I would definitely just buy the $100 pass. But if you guys do plan on going out to Idaho, one thing that I would suggest is because I feel like eventually they'll shut that down. They will only allow people from Idaho to fish Idaho waters just to keep people from other states that are more affected by this from driving there and spreading it. So I just got off the phone again with them, and this time I was actually able to talk to somebody, and this person was so helpful. They really helped me kind of grasp exactly what they're doing basically. And she said the reason why they went ahead and shut down fishing is because when you fish, you travel. Whether you're, in Spokane, we're pretty lucky. We got like 10, 15 lakes within a half hour in any direction. So, but if you don't live in Spokane, you live in another place, you might have to drive a couple hours or go visit another town to go fishing. And she said that's when the problem is, because you're driving to another town. You may have the virus, or you may be in contact with somebody who had the virus and you don't know, because you can have the virus for a week or two without even having any symptoms. So she said what happens is you drive to other towns, you go to these convenience stores, you go to these places, you buy baits, you buy gas, you buy soda, you buy the stuff for the day, and that's how it spreads. So if you are going to go to Idaho and fish, try to make sure you have enough gas to get there and back without having to stop. Make sure you have all your baits and all that stuff ready to go so you can just drive there, launch, and go fish without having any contact with any of the people out in Idaho. That way it doesn't spread to them as much. Eventually it's going to spread, over there more than it already is. I mean, that's just a given, but it'll slow it down a little bit, and it might keep them from, at some point, keeping us from going over there, which I would hate to see that happen. Um, but she did say, when they first put this no fishing ban in effect, that it was going to be a minimum of 2 weeks. That 2 weeks is up in April 8th. Okay. Most of the fishing lakes around here that are shut down through the winter, they open up the fourth weekend of April. So I've been waiting on that day for a long time. So in my mind, as long as I can fish my favorite lakes that are closed right now on opening day, the end of April, I'm fine with it. My worry is if they're gonna just shut it down for the rest of the year. Just shut it down, no fishing. But she said she does not think that's going to happen. Of course, she can't tell me exactly the things that she is. I mean, she can only tell me things that she knows, and she doesn't know very much right now. But I did ask her, if you were to bet money on what's going to happen, are they going to cancel it, or are they just going to extend it another 2 weeks or a month or whatever? She told me if she were to bet money on it, she would bet no, because of the controversy that this has started. A lot of people like me have, you know, have been quite upset about this. I know there's some petitions going around to stop it. I don't know how much those are going to help right now, but people just want to do something. They want to be proactive, so I completely support that. I signed the petition. If you guys see it on social media, I would definitely recommend signing it. It can't hurt anything. But she said April 6th, they're going to go over everything and see if there's a better plan, see if there's something else they can do. Now, I know me telling her my suggestions is not going to, I mean, people making these rules, they're not going to hear my suggestions. But she said the main reason this was shut down was because these, on the west side of the state, which has nothing to do with us, but we're all one state. On the west side of the state, these fishing piers for our people are, because they're not at work, they're standing shoulder to shoulder on these fishing piers. And when they saw that, they decided they wanted to shut it down. Now, I noticed the same thing. I went out to Liberty Lake. That was the last time I went fishing, right before the ban, maybe a few days before the ban. And the fishing dock there was not even set out in the water yet. So they just have a boat launch, and that's it. And they have a little like deck, but it doesn't go out onto the water. It's parallel with the shore. And that thing was shoulder to shoulder with people fishing. And then to the left of the boat launch, because that whole area was full, people were sitting in lawn chairs and they were shoulder to shoulder fishing. And the reason for that is because nobody's at work. These are not the people that we typically see out on the water every day. These are not them. These are people who are like, well, I'm out of work, I'm bored, everything's shut down, let's go fishing. So then they go fishing, and they don't have boats, they don't have anything like that, which is fine. But they should have not picked a place where there's a little tiny public area. The whole lake's surrounded by houses and is considered private. And so there's a really small area for a large group of people to fish if you're not in a boat. And when I saw that, when I pulled up there, I knew that that was dumb, and they're probably going to do something about it. Now, when they shut down public fishing areas, that's what I thought. Okay, they did something about it. Cool. But when they shut down fishing, like I said, that's not going to stop the spread of the virus. So she said what they're going to do is they're going to revisit the idea, revisit some rules and regulations. And she said for the average guy like me who goes out in a boat or a kayak, guys like us or me should be fine. She says though a lot of the rules are going to be placed upon people fishing off of docks and stuff like that, and so they need to revisit it. They can't just shut down the whole thing because they're too lazy to come up with some actual laws and rules and guidelines that allow us to fish and fish safely without spreading this thing. So in my opinion, they kind of just rushed it, and they said, we don't have time to deal with this right now, so we're just going to shut it all down. But I don't think they realized the backlash they were going to get for that. And without getting too political, I'm not one way or the other as far as, too far left or too far right. But I do believe that the left really doesn't care about us outdoorsmen. I mean, let's just face it. They really don't. Most outdoorsmen are right winged thought, or they think that way. Myself included. I don't agree with everything that's right winged, but I do believe the right wing states, especially, kind of look out for their outdoorsmen stuff a little better than some of the left side states. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, man. So basically, April 6th, she told me to go ahead and give them a call back. And she said she might have some more information for me. I'm going to wait till April 7th because April 6th is the actual day that they're going to be discussing it and figuring it out. But I tell you what, guys, I will be crushed if for some reason they just decide to extend this thing longer than it needs to be, or cancel it, and without actually putting in the work and figuring out what's a safe way we can get people to go enjoy these outdoor recreational activities, because you've shut down everything else. This is still America. You can't just tell people to stay inside your house, so I think that I have faith in it. I have faith in the system that they're going to work something out, and that I'll be able to go fishing before the end of April. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for this thing to be up on the 8th. I'm asking for it to, at least be, at least, at least let us fish, when lakes are supposed to be open. So that's just my opinions on it. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. I've read some things going both ways. I've seen a lot of people, super pissed off. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, you're just being a baby," and stuff like that. But you can't really call someone a baby if, you know, a lot of these people who are saying that, they think they fish a lot, but I don't think they really do. They might fish, 10, 12 times a year. That might sound like a lot to you, but that's nothing to me. I'll fish every single day, all day, 365, rain, snow, shine, 108 degrees, negative 40. I don't give a shit. I'm out there, and I want to be out there. And I fish alone 99.9% of the time. And, this is just taking this away from me it hurts. It really does. I don't know what else to say. It hurts. So hopefully they can figure something out. I have faith they will. And in the meantime, just wash your hands. Try not to, if you're going to drive, to Post Falls, to Cabela's or whatever, just keep in mind that our state is one of the worst states. And right now, Idaho is doing fairly well compared to us. And we should let them continue that. We shouldn't just go over there and touch everything and talk to everybody and all that stuff. And so I think as fishermen, we have a moral obligation to try to slow the spread. I don't think that means we should stop fishing, because I know when I go out fishing, I'm not spreading anything. I show up, I launch my boat, and I go, and I don't talk to anybody. I'm not around anybody. I mean, if I see a fisherman 100 yards in front of me, I'm going to keep that distance. And that was before the virus. That's just how I fish. I don't think you should be up next to anybody when you're fishing. It's just rude. But anyways, you guys take care. I'm really hoping that this is going to stop and I can get out there and create content. I know Fishing with Spency, me and him have some things in the works. We might be starting another YouTube channel where we combine, because he's got talents in spots that I'm lacking, and I feel like I got talents in spots that he's lacking, and I think together that we could really crush some things out, and I know he feels the same way. So hopefully we'll get this hammered out. And in the meantime, stay safe, you guys. This sucks, I know, but we just got to do our part and try to mitigate it as much as you can. So Muck Fishing signing out. Mullet's looking pretty good. I had the full handlebars last week. You guys missed that. But take care, you guys. When you get that chance, go ahead and set that hook. Have a good day, guys.